Terry, welcome to Easter Road. Was it a big decision that you had to make?
Yeah, it was a huge decision, and it wasn't taken lightly because of all the success that we've had there and all the really good people there. It's hard to say goodbye, but we'll certainly see them again. But we had some great times there, and we want to obviously try and reproduce some great times here too.
5 years in Inverness, building up to who knows, just what you could have achieved there. Why make the move at this point?
Well, when you look at what Hibs can offer, what they've got, the blocks are in place really. The only thing that's missing is the team, and I think, well, that's our job. That's what we do well, is build up teams. And when I looked at the Cali Thistle side on Saturday, yes, I felt proud of them, and the way that they played. And it was good for me to watch the game because I could see things in Hibs that I needed to be improved, and having a look at the players gave me a good insight as to what work lies ahead. But when you look at Cali Thistle, that's a 18 months sort of project, and it's still ongoing as well, still improving. So you look at that and you say, well, look, that's what we want to do. There's a like before and after scenario of many aspects. This is what we want to do. Stamina, style and steel, I said, at Cali Thistle, and they certainly showed that very much on Saturday, and that's what we want to try and instill here too. And I think it shows people, it shows Hibs people, directors and supporters, well, this is what we can do, this is what we have done in the past, and this is what we want to do here.
You've been pretty open over your managerial career, Terry, but how difficult has it been the last week in particular to stay quiet?
Yeah, how much
your nature.
You know how much I love to talk and talk rubbish, but it's been awful. I didn't want to really say anything because I think, well, there were talks ongoing and there was this and all that, and it was quite interesting actually to step back and see what was written and spoken, and it was quite amazing. Some great advice from everybody. Everybody thinks they know what a Hibs manager should do or not do, and should he move or shouldn't he move, and there's been some great articles, and I've had some lovely comments from some good friends and people I never even knew, and they all seem to know what I'm thinking as well. But I think that's all part of the game. Sometimes you've got to be quiet and let it take its course. But I'm delighted now it's finally out of the way, and we can move forward. We've already had one good training session with the players, and they've responded tremendously well. They're a good group of boys that are hurting at the moment. They want to improve things. We all want to improve things. And I said in the press conference that if everybody at Hibs works harder, ups their game, we can make this a really big club that everybody's proud of.
Was this the toughest managerial decision that you've had to make in your career, to actually make the move though?
Well, I left Motherwell for Sydney. That was a tough one as well because Motherwell were going well. Perhaps not as well as Cali Thistle are going at the moment, but yeah, it probably was the toughest call, and it's still raw with me at the moment because it's you have left behind a fantastic club with no facilities, with hardly anything really of any note, apart from spirit and heart and really a great work ethic, and what the players have achieved. I mean, you go to the Hibs training ground, it's state of the art, it's fantastic. Cali Thistle didn't have that. We had a few pictures at Fort George and the wind and having to travel there, etc., etc. And what those boys achieved was just absolutely remarkable. Someday people will write books about it or film it and just say that was just an incredible success story, which is still ongoing and still continuing. And whoever picks up the pieces there, or picks up the reins, I should say, at Cali Thistle in the future, has got a very, very good team and a very good club to take over. And who knows what they can do. But we've got our task ahead of us, and we're certainly one that we're prepared to get our teeth into and work very hard at. And I said to the players today that it's all about hard work. If you work harder than the opposition, there's some good players in this team that can score goals and win matches.
What would you deem then as being a success in the next 2.5 years?
Well, I'm not looking at 2.5 years. I'm looking beyond that. But in a way, I want to say that I'm looking more short term at the moment. I think you've got to work short term rather than long term. That'll come probably in the summer when we can reassess the season. And it gives us a chance then in the window. But I think success for us is to try and get into the top 6 minimum to start with. We're 5 points off that at the moment. Lost the last 3 league games, last 4 with a derby here in the cup. So the boys are hurting at the moment, and we want to get back to winning ways. But how do we do that? Well, we play in a way that we want the boys to play, myself and Morris, play with a passion and a desire. That's the least I demand. And the minimum I demand is that they work harder than the opposition. So they're in for a lot of hard work and a lot of effort, and I think the fans want that. They want to see passion from the team, and they want to see the ball get forward, and they want to see shots and crosses. I mean, if you look at the first half an hour against Hearts, that was fantastic football, and they should have scored. and that's another aspect when we have to be more ruthless in every department of the pitch. So lots of things to work on, but I think things that can be attained, things that can be worked out, things that can be improved and enjoyed as well in the process.
Fans being as they are though, Terry, they look for instant success. It rarely happens.
It does really happen. I just think you just got to say, look, give us a bit of time. You know, like I say, the Cali Thistle side, you know, it was 18 months, but I'm not saying that 18 months patience, but I'm just saying give us a bit of time to work things out. We'll work with the players. We'll look at January and as to who or what we can bring in, if anything. But I'm looking at the players that we have here now to say, well, there's no need to bring anyone in Gaffer because we're doing well and we're in the team. They've got to work hard to get in the team, and when they're in the team, they've got to work hard to stay there. It comes down to hard work again. That's it. And I'm Morris and myself are one of the two of the hardest workers in Scottish football, and we want our team to be equal to that as well.
How key was Morris coming with you? A key part of your decision to
make? Big call. It's great to have him on board. We work very well. Good cop, bad cop, and all these kind of things. But he's one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in Scotland for me. He's just an incredible guy, great mate, but also a great colleague too. He'll tell me if I'm talking rubbish, as he normally does, and he'll sort of bring me back down to earth. But I can trust him. He's got a great opinion, great knowledge of the game, and a fantastic coach. And he's excited to work at the facility that we have at the training centre, but also work with a group of players that need that work and need him to give him a kick up the backside or an arm around the shoulder and so forth. But it was a big call because he could have managed Cali Thistle, could have been the next manager there quite easily. But we've done very well at Motherwell. We've done very well at Cali Thistle. This is the third club that we'll work at, and hopefully we can have the same success here, if not more.